Hey guys, welcome to another bonus episode of Let's Play Sonic Generations. I managed to, with the help of my friend here,
Hey there guys, I'm Sonic Ghost, helping him out, like always.
I managed to find some way of recording the Casino Night Zone DLC that was only day one DLC for the people who pre-ordered the game. Lester here is going to be playing the game. He's recording the game, recording the everything, practically.
Yeah, this is the PC version of Sonic I'm sorry, Sonic Generations. So you know what game I've been playing. Apparently,
Yeah.
the console versions of this never saw a release of Casino Night DLC after the pre-order thing. But for PC users, we got this as a DLC item you can get whenever. So if you own the PC version
Yeah,
of Generations, you can get this.
This honestly this is one thing that really irritates me about this, because I would be willing to pay money for this.
Yeah.
And yet Sega never really made this DLC available on Xbox Live or PSN, and that kind of really downs me a little bit, because I'm like, eh. But anyways, with the help of Lester here, he's going to be showing me helping us show off this Casino Night Zone DLC that we have on Sonic Generations.
Yeah, you can use
this.
the spin dash for classic Sonic or the boost for modern Sonic, and it will vary, so we're going to be doing it twice. The table's the same for both characters, but the control is a little bit different.
Yeah, pretty much that. What Casino Night Zone is essentially just a pinball table. If you guys ever played Sonic Adventure in the Casinopolis Zone, this is pretty much it in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and show off this real quick.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing this too long, we're just going to be looking at the table briefly for both the characters.
Yeah.
If you press around
pretty
on the
much-
analog stick, you can go ahead and shake the table like you would in any other pinball game.
Mhm.
And then use the bumpers or the triggers to use the flippers, but that's pretty much it. Very self-explanatory. You can
Yeah,
press the square button or the X button in this case to use the spin dash or boost move, whichever Sonic that you're playing as.
Yeah, and like I said before, I really wish that they did release this as actual DLC you could download. And I keep looking at it. Yes, folks, I have kept looking at the PSN store to see if they have this. They do not. This is only available whenever you pre-ordered the game, which was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've kept on doing the same thing for the same reason, just to see if they've ever re-released this for the public and not just pre-orders, but they haven't.
Yeah, but practically, this is the one thing I wanted to show off, and Lester managed to get this, and he offered to help me show it off in my Let's Play here. So pretty much this is the last thing we're going to be showing off, and then we'll be fully have shown off everything in this game.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys want to just take a break from playing Sonic games or playing the Sonic stages in general, you can do this and just have a little fun pinball game, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little distraction. It's not something I would pay, like, say, full price of this game for, but if it's like $5, I wouldn't mind seeing something like this appear.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice little distraction, and it's a nice little addition. But I think that's enough for classic Sonic. Let's go ahead and look at this as modern now.
And if you guys actually saw, the load times were like significantly decreased. Gosh, why would you want the load times to be longer than this?
I was gonna say, why would you want them longer?
Yeah, as you guys saw, it kind of like loaded instantaneously.
Yeah, this
That's
is what
the
you
beauty
mentioned
of the
about the
PC
PC version.
The PC version loads instantly, like almost with this, and that's pretty nice to have that. But
Yeah.
so what's the difference between modern and classic?
It's mainly their special ability, yeah. Spin dash to boost. Boost, you just go a little faster with modern. Classic just helps you get up to higher slopes from what I've been experimenting with. I mean, I haven't played this pinball table too much. I played it a little bit before this, but besides that, it's like maybe 5 minutes worth at the most. Just to see what it offers. There are other levels to this table. You're not just going to be on the same section. Like you saw earlier when we went to the classic side, we got to the top area with some bumpers, but that's about it.
That was about it, yeah.
There are some more areas like that.
I see that there's orange rings up there. I'm guessing if you go through that tunnel, then
yeah,
you get
that
another
takes you to
access
the
to the
top area. But it's hard to get stuff like that.
Yeah, especially
Just like any pinball
I'm not a
game.
pinball.
Well, there you go. This is the area I was talking about.
Speaking of the devil right there, you actually managed to get up there. Okay. But I've never been a pinball wizard. I know
Yeah.
I kind of stole the title of a song there, but I've never been a pinball maniac at this game, at pinball before. So, like, honestly, like, it's fun. Like, I remember in Sonic Adventure when they had something similar to this. That was a nice distraction to this, and I'm glad that they brought this back based on one of the levels from the classic Sonic games, like Sonic 2.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
This zone right here was from Sonic 2. And what would you like? Did you like this, or would you actually like they actually did a stage of this?
I would love to see more of a stage compared to this, but if they had to put Casino Night in the console version, at least they did this, and that's nice. But this is the top section thing I was talking about. When you get enough points, they send you to a completely different table. And that's pretty interesting. So you get to see the slot machines as well. They bring this back from Casino Night as well.
Never seen that before. Like, I've seen gameplay of this, but I've never actually like watched this. So
Yeah,
this is
same
interesting
here.
for me too.
It's really just stuff that can boost points, and that's mainly it. Which is what you expect.
Yeah.
But that's
yeah,
pretty
that's
much all we have to
Casino
talk
Night.
about for it.
That's pretty much Casino Night Zone DLC for Sonic Generations actual console version. There is Casino Night Zone for the 3DS version as an actual stage, but it's like it replaces the Chemical Plant Zone from the console when you play the 3DS version.
Exactly.
Now, if I ever get a 3DS capture card, will I ever go to Sonic Generations on the 3DS? Well, I might. That'd be kind of interesting to do that. But yeah, this is a fun little DLC that I wish that they did put on there. Even though I know I keep griping about it. I really wish that they did put that DLC on the store, but I would have liked to show it off at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we were at least able to show it off using PC version. It is a disappointment that this isn't on consoles, but at least it's on Steam, so if you guys have the PC version, you can still get this DLC, which is very nice.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much Casino Night Zone. Alright, well, folks, we have one more thing we want to show off before pretty much we're done with this LP here, so we'll see you guys in a few seconds. Alright guys, we have one more thing we want to show off before we end this Let's Play, and that is the mod that is added exclusively to the PC version of Sonic Generations. This is the Unleashed project. Lester can go into more detail about this.
Yes, this is the Unleashed project, available for the PC version of Sonic Generations. This was created by, let's go all the way to the end to show off everyone. This was created just solely so to see how the HD versions of Sonic Unleashed's levels would run on a computer, how it would run in 1080p, 60 frames per second. And these are the credits for the main people. You can find more information on their mod website. If you look up the Unleashed project, it'll be one of the first things you find. And this is a very impressive mod because it does so much stuff. It really does. It adds pretty much every single HD version's daytime stage, excluding Eggman Land, to the game. And it's really well done.
Yeah.
One more modification on, as you can see, this Sonic is different. Well, this is the Unleashed Sonic model. This was shown off by the creators on the Unleashed project as well, made by someone completely different, made by Twilight Zony. And he has special animations for the Unleashed project, which is why we're using him.
We're going to be showing that all because we're going to show the differences that this has.
Let's show off all the stages.
We
have Jungle Joyride, we have Empire City, we have hardware requirements, we'll come back to that. Arid Sands, Cool Edge, Dragon Rock,
Road.
We have
Not Rock.
Dragon Road. I always do that for some reason. Rooftop Run, Savannah Satel, I think that's how you pronounce it, and both acts of Windmill Isle, Act 1 and 2. Act 1 is just called Tutorial.
Act 1 is just called Tutorial. It's literally only 30 seconds.
And you got this guy back, which is Selling ice cream, I mean skills, is where you buy your skills, and there's some skills you can get here. Since there's red rings, you can go ahead and collect them. That's something different that the Unleashed game did not have. So you get different skills, including Supersonic. And one more thing, this is Wintos. You can find Wintos in every single stage in the game. And that's pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting to see.
But we're just going to show off 2 levels. So you get to go ahead and pick which one while I'm showing off the hardware requirements.
Yeah, freaking tropical joyride.
Yeah, I wonder why you're so high.
That's gonna kill your computer if you don't have a good computer.
The killer of consoles.
Anyways, go play Cool Edge, because I mentioned that in the Let's Play, especially when I was doing Rooftop Run. Yeah. I mentioned that this is kind of a level that I kind of wish that they did bring into Sonic Generations, and don't mind those letters. That's just
don't mind it. There is a special modification for any Sonic Generations mod, including the original, where if you turn on a feature called the FX Pipeline Filter, it will pretty much add in the lighting that they use in Sonic Unleashed, because that was kind of coded into this game. But the weird side effect it has is whenever you're loading up the game, it just does stuff like that, where it just spewts out random letters for no reason. It's weird.
I mentioned that this is kind of a level, if they didn't bring Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3 into this game, I kind of figured that they would choose this level for an ice level. And that's one thing that I really wish that Sonic Generations had, was an ice level.
Yeah, because it didn't really have too much variation with its levels. It had 4 city levels when you really think about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but look at all the creativity that the modding community can do sometimes. They added that bobsled, which works exactly like the snowboard does in City Escape.
Yeah, which means
and they brought that whale back too.
And that's impressive.
That's really cool. This level, well, I said that and that was a pun of itself. Cool.
Yeah, this level's cool. Cool edge. It's very edgy.
But anyways, I really like that I like this level in general from the looks of it. Makes me want to go and wish I had a better computer to get this game on the PC.
Yeah, but now that you have because you just picked up Sonic Unleashed on the PlayStation 3, so you can actually try this level out when you get there.
I actually tried it out on the console on the game it was made for.
Yeah. Because, well, the nice thing about the Unleashed project is they can add all these elements in from Sonic Unleashed. Not all of them can transfer over that well. Like, for example, you'll see a lot of the times where we're getting up to these, like, directional, I don't know what they're called, you know the things that just shoot you up in the air? You can push in whatever direction? That wasn't in Sonic Unleashed. That was, pretty much a QuickTime event, like, launcher. They couldn't replicate that exactly, stuff like that. There's limitations. But what they were able to work with, they really did a good job.
I mean, look how cool this level looks. It's really
there we go with that pun again.
Yeah, there we go with that pun again. I mean, you gotta give the modding community a lot of credit for this.
Yeah.
If they have a really good imagination and time and effort that they put in projects like this,
and all their knowledge,
so everybody can enjoy it. That is really nice.
Yeah,
really
there's a reason why some game developers hire people when they see stuff like this. It's that impressive, and they can do so much with it that their current developers can't do. So that just really shows. And this is all free, by the way. If you have Sonic Generations, you can just download this mod for free, and this gets their names out there too.
But as you saw in the victory animation, that Sonic had a different animation pose. Well, that was the Unleashed animation of Sonic.
Yep.
When he had a result screen.
Yep. But let's go ahead and show off one more stage. So, which of the other stages should we show?
Show the killer of consoles.
Here we go. Let's go to Adabat.
Or Tropical Joyride is the
Jungle Joyride's the official name, but the area that this is in Sonic Unleashed is Adabat.
And this is Jungle Joyride, folks. We do apologize for like the little cut there, but as this level is living up to its name, it's chugging the frames pretty hard.
Yep, had to actually swap recording software and everything to make sure we can run this properly, because this level is famous on the consoles for chugging that frame rate. It is famous from dropping from what the game can run at 30 to, say, I don't know, 5 to 10 frames. It's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And we were getting
but
something
that's
similar
bad
here.
for you. Okay.
Also, a major issue with the controller spazzing out, so swapping out the controller seemed to be a good idea so far.
Yeah, it seemed to be a really good idea so far. He was having the constant boosting issue that he kept having earlier.
Yeah,
like
this is
it would
something not
boost
many
like
people actually know
15
about.
times in a row.
Right now, I'm trying to fix it up. I'm not exactly sure why my controller is doing it, but the controller I'm using for the PC has been spazzing out quite a lot. I'm not sure it's the games or it's the controller, but for now, swapping controllers seem to have fixed it. So I think it's controller.
Yeah, it seems to fix it a lot.
Because whenever I'm holding down the X button to boost, it would just constantly boost like I'm just tapping it. Luckily, that's not the issue.
And that runs your boost meter out really fast.
And in this stage is the worst stage to have that happen to in this mod, because most of this is going to be on the water. And
yeah,
when
most
playing
of this
Generations
is during
itself,
this segment where you're running on the water here.
Yeah, when playing Generations itself, you know how much you need that boost meter in the water, since it drains at double the speed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that the water makes your boost meter go down faster.
It does, yeah.
Shoot.
And this is one of the things I mentioned in City
again.
Escape. Or was it Seaside Hill? It's one of the two levels. The gun shop and Jungle Joyride. So out of place.
Why the City Escape gun truck is in this level, I have no idea.
they mainly put it in here because there's a robot that appears in a couple of levels in Sonic Unleashed. They couldn't put that in there. So in other levels they kind of substitute it, whether it be putting different enemies in the place or just having a new gimmick in general. But in this level, they put the gun truck in there to pretty much substitute the thing. Which is a nice little addition, I would say. Where I stop dying. We're gonna be here much longer.
In the
if
parts
I,
that I have to stop dying. And continuously run on there because Sonic is Jesus.
Constantly drift just to make sure I'm stable. I'm kind of skipping some parts of the level by doing that, but then again, I want to just get through this as fast as I can, because while this is the last level we're showing, I'm going to go back to the tutorial level after this to show one extra thing this game has. Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic was not in Sonic Unleashed. And he is pretty much not supported in the Unleashed project, but you can play as him. So it's
but you
kind of
can
weird.
play as him for some ungodly reason.
It's weird.
Sonic is not supposed to be in 3D. Or
yeah.
Classic Sonic is not supposed to be in 3D.
You can play with Classic Sonic in 3D, and if you do, don't spin dash. One of two things will happen. Either your game will completely crash, or it will just completely freak out and he'll go the exact opposite direction. So yeah, don't use spin dash in 3D. You'll regret it.
Then jump down here. This level is pretty complex. That's why the frames drop so much.
Yeah, there's so much going in this level.
There's so much green, there's so much water, there's so much temple, there's so much everything.
Yep. And that's really, really hard for the consoles to run. So I honestly don't blame the consoles for slowing down, but as much as it does, it's kind of a bad thing when you look back at it.
Yeah, when you look back at it, that's kind of really, really hard.
Yeah, and not pretty to look at.
Jump this way. Holy crap. They had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they did.
It makes me wonder how modders can pretty much make this entire level like that. Did they just take coding from the actual game, it's Unleashed, and then put it in this game?
Kind of. The thing is, from what I've heard, the Havoc files, which is the physics engine that the game runs on, were Xbox 360 files that they needed. So one of the people, I think it was Dario FF, I think he was the one who recreated them from scratch. So you basically look at the project files, and then you just recreate them as much as you can in whatever programs.
Oh my goodness.
It is impressive what they can do. It really is.
Really. Oh, there you go, folks.
That's gonna be a B.
The chugger of consoles.
Yep. There is one more thing that we would like to show off. Like I mentioned, Classic Sonic. And we're going to go to the tutorial level since it's the fastest one. The weird thing is about it, though, in order to play the tutorial level, you need to go to Windmill Isle Act 2, and to play Windmill Isle for Classic, you need to go to Windmill Isle Act 1. It's kind of weird. So we'll head over here, and let's play stage. And this is Classic Sonic.
Now we're playing as Classic Sonic in 3D. Oh my god.
Yep, he actually does have a 3D model. Hard to believe.
Yeah, it is really hard to believe that. You wouldn't have ever thought because all the stages are in 2D.
Yeah, every single last one. And there's no 3D sections. There might have been transitions, but that's about it. So surprising to see a full 3D model. A lot of times when games have this kind of thing, it's not a full model. It's like some kind of sprite or something.
Yeah.
And I need to build up speed here. From what I've heard, if you collect all the red rings in Windmill Isle Act 2 with Modern Sonic, you actually get the homing attack for Classic. And obviously, if you can't spin dash, I think that's kind of a necessary thing right now. But that's pretty much it. In fact, if I can't beat the level, it's better to just actually quit it.
Yeah, well, that's Classic Sonic in 3D for you. So, if you ever want to see him in 3D, there you go.
Yep, but that's it. That's all we have to show.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that we have to show. Now you've completely showed off everything that I wanted to show in this project. So, I really hope everybody enjoyed this project to its fullest, and I really want to thank Lester here for helping me out with this project a lot too. Thank you, Lester.
No problem.
But anyways, folks, I really want to thank everybody for watching this project. I really hope this helped a lot of people that wanted to 100% this game and everything. So this has been Matt from Matt's LP Adventures
and Sonic Ghost,
and I'll see you guys in the next episode or next video I do. Not episode. We're done.
Yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself.
But anyways, see you guys later.